you first escape or say counter to when he wants to pass my guard. Come down. The thing is, don't just let him pass it. He's gonna be careful. You need to really, like for example, if you're here and go down on your knees and you're fighting, going for triangles, armas, whatever, and like you see, I know this typical thing. He shoves, I go back, and it's all like back and forth. You really need to make him want to get there, yeah? And even if you can recover and get him, it's great. But if you notice you're getting tired and he's gonna soon for real pass, and then don't defend to the last second till you're done, yeah? Till you have no more energy. Like think like 20 seconds ahead, and before you're out of energy, you let him go. And the thing is, you need to keep the far arm close to your body, best like this. And with this one, you're gonna reach it. Just the first move is just like a little help for the second one, for the arm triangle escape. So he passes. Normally, like here, sometimes he rolls, then you end up with side mount. If he's like just roll, you need to pull on this arm. No matter if you go here or here, just need to pull really hard here. There's even a submission here. It's a really weird Kimura, but roll back. Yeah. Normally, yeah, once I'm out here, I can also just drive my weight into him and try to submit him right here. But on high level, the best thing you can do is just go here. The safest and most likely to succeed thing. And it's really important that grip. If he has double unders, in fact, if I have, if you hear this doesn't work, I can force the bridge, but he's going to slow me down and take my back. If I have both arms under him, actually, I'm winning. He wouldn't go for this. He's on top, but it's so easy to move around and even completely turn him over. So it only works for this situation, and you kind of let him go there. You want that. You kind of pretend that you're giving him the control here, and kind of sneaky hide that one. Yeah? And now I'm gonna do it slow, so you kind of get the idea fast. I have to catch him here like as far as possible, but not just like this. And just pinch him here. There's no time for that. You have to be really fast. And now don't bridge. He's gonna just mount you on knee on belly. You have to kind of swing around and now pull out. It's kind of a switch, first swing, and then you pull. It's kind of like a wrestling type of movement. If somebody's wrestling familiar. And from here on, it's like either quick armbar, yeah, or you just let him roll, but while you walk back, you always need to drive your weight into him. Otherwise, actually, it's like a kind of 50-50 thing. If I'm too sloppy, he's just going to go on top of me the same way as I go on top of him. So I need to push my weight into him. I can just stand up on top. So one more turn. Fighting. Passes. Really need to be faster. It's like at first practice it slow, but then do it again and again. You need to be very fast. The slower you are, the more likely it's gonna just end up in some kind of scramble, and you're not gonna get where you want to. But even if you just get to here, you just avoid it getting past, and you're even able to get like 50-50. I'm getting up, he's getting up. Eventually, I get a takedown. Much better than getting past. Okay, and this is just a help for the next move. The next move is going to be very similar. The one I did with Rodolfo Vieira. I got out of his fucking arm triangle. It was tight as hell, but somehow I got out with almost the same movement. So let's try. And the near one just goes over, as if you want to catch Kimura, kind of. Wenn du Kimura willst. Ja, aber richtig weit hier, mehr hier hoch, und dann klemmst du ihn so ein. Und dann schwingst du deine Hüfte runter und jetzt ziehst du so den Kopf raus. Exakt. Yeah, that's it. Wait. Yeah, put your weight on. Exactly. Yeah, that's It's for the basic kata gatame, the arm triangle. Now you already learned a good one. Now the thing here is you have to do two things. The one is kind of rolling over, and the other is rolling sideways. You kind of combine both. You need to generate a lot of force there. And I did this with Rodolfo Vieira. I did it, I don't know, with everyone. It just was fun for me to always try it against, of course not in competition, but in rolling. And with Rodolfo, I actually did it in the MMA fight. He still beat me later, fuck it, but I got out of it. Now, squeeze, you can go, really, it works really in the last moment. Look how I do this. Did you see how I generated force? That's the very hard part. It's like when, this Bruce Lee thing, when the knee gets up, And when people never do this, they're like, that's the hard part. You need to have like smoothness, but at the same time, power and speed. You kind of generate force, and then like the last moment before you kind of leave the floor, I would say, kind of explode. Of course, it doesn't even need to be that explosive, but that's the theory behind it. For the beginners, the very beginners who have trouble with this, like squeeze, you can try to kind of just walk sideways. Yeah? You might end up him taking you back because you're slow, but try to learn the move. If you do it often enough, it will work. Literally worked. I don't know how many years I'm doing this. I don't remember the last time I tapped to the arm triangle. And here it's the same like before. You can try the arm lock. You can keep walking if you keep your weight onto him. Like, look, it's like a 50-50 thing. If you get onto your knees and I'm not putting weight onto you, you're just gonna walk around me and go to my back. Just walk this direction, and then I'm really fine. He's doing exactly the same that I do. Like, you can do something like this for a second, just catch your breath, because feels dreadful if you're like almost sleeping and try to do an escape. But like I said, I did it really. It's a hobby of mine, just letting people almost choke me out, and then I'm like, no, keep your weight on and keep walking. That will be the safest thing to do. If you have a very high level opponent, he will instantly roll, because he'll notice it. Then you have to really pull the arm so he doesn't get your back. And then you can try this weird Kimura or just go again. So one more time. Slowly squeezes. I roll out. You can kind of turn this into an infinity drill. You can just do for your own arm triangle, and then he does the same to me. That's right. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Nice. Yeah. Now this one. This is the last. You can also go for this one, but it's extra. With this one, you need to like pre-teach this sometimes. You need to make sure that he doesn't fix my arm like this, because then you can forget it. Your arm is going to get broken. You have to do this really violently. Sometimes you have to even punch, do this, so you don't. Basically offering Kimura, but from this angle, he's going to take at least a couple seconds to somehow make the Kimura happen. Yeah? And you just flex. It's kind of not so easy for him. And you offer him even a worse position, like when I do this, and like you shouldn't offer it too obvious, not like this, hunting, because then he might not go for it, but you should kind of defend a little, but leave your head here, or maybe he's even going to push my head because he knows that's a good move. He's going to push it down, maybe even under, yeah, exactly, and get you in a super shitty position, right? But as long as you have this and this here, you're going to need to really grab it, especially if he's strong. You're not going to be able to push here, you need to push here. If you have this arm out, it's much easier. Now, go for it out for a second. Then you, especially with the gi, you just can grab anywhere. No gi, you just hide it kind of, so he doesn't wrist lock arm by you. But even here, it's possible with the arm. Just turn it. And now look what I'm doing. I'm not just stepping over. This can save you, but it's better if you push onto him, because you want this leg under here for the submission counter. You're gonna finish him from this position. That's why a friend of mine called it the Easter knee bar, because you come back from being crucified. So, yeah. Push onto him, and now it doesn't even matter. You just have to do a strong hook here. Yeah. And look, I got a pretty interesting knee bar. Even if you keep holding, pretty much doesn't matter. Yeah. Be careful here. If it's a lateral knee bar, can fuck his knee up. Be very careful with this, because the knee doesn't go well that way. Try to be nice and do this one. As you see, I'm going for it. I naturally escape. He generally also panics here and lets go and wants to escape. You have to really pinch his leg and don't triangle your legs, kind of cross them. And it's like a dog bar, but not quite the exact dog bar. It's slightly different. If you know, there's a dog bar from Alligators. You just extend. Yeah, and actually from here, complete chaos starts. You can, if you notice, you don't submit him right away, you can do this weird roll here, make it even more complete, and pass his guard. And also, let's go back. Wait, so push out to him, takes this thing, take with the triangle. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter with the triangle, yeah, exactly. Go up. You can also, without getting into the air, just push my leg under, and if I have the flexibility, if I don't have it, go back, close it. I need to kind of do this and just really kick here. Push a little, and kick. Yeah? And once I get out, I get into this really. I love this. One of my favorite submissions. I came up with it myself, and it's very. Exactly, it can happen that he kind of turns his leg this way, Yeah, then like close it kind of, exactly. Then he escapes the submission, but look, I'm pretty close to passing here. Pretty solid thing. And let's go back. Sometimes, exactly, if I have this, let's go, if I manage to save my arm, I can either grab him like here, grab him here for more control. Because some tough guys might go crazy, try to escape, and here is not much escape, you know? And things get really weird from here on. You can do a really easy pass. Yeah. So that's it, everyone understood? Looks a bit confusing, but just try. It's actually easier. It's easier than the moves before, okay? So let's go. If I'm behind him, like if I'm like completely like this, I don't even go for this because this is very shitty for him. But normally he will always go down a little. And from here, it's even easier to take, and it's like the one right thing to do. And then, as you see here, it's much easier for you, right? It's much easier to push that leg down, and you can try to step over exactly. But you forgot one step. You forgot to push onto me before you. But you can still try to go. You can still escape back. Yeah, exactly. Now you can knee bar me really nicely there. Exactly. Yeah, more, a little more. Yeah. Probably I might have to do another class on what I'm going to show now. Yeah, go through it, I open it up, and everything loosens up, and we kind of end up into this basic. Like this, you can also roll over. No, I'm here and just jump over it. You know, if my head spins out, this sometimes ends up like this from the scramble. And from here, this is pretty basic, the back takes and everything. But what you maybe didn't see, what I like to do is, if you stretch the leg to here, this is a very chaotic position. But I love it, not just because it's chaotic, there's a lot of things going on here. They think you're gonna go for a calf slicer, but if you look at this, that's not a calf slicer, it's just a confusion. What you're really gonna go for is a knee bar here. Yeah, can happen. You can, of course, if you manage to free your arm here, go for kind of this stuff. Yeah, or if you even keep it like this. It's actually a friend of mine developed this. They call it the sonic wheel because he does it from different position. It goes like kind of like the rolling toe hold kind of thing. He just jumps and he takes it from here. It looks like total bullshit, but believe it or not, I did it on a pretty fit and not so bad 100 kilo guy competition. He just didn't know what it was. He was trying to, from here on, you know, both try to take their backs. Like he tries to take mine, I try to take his. It's like a typical situation. And it's not so hard to get out of here. You just have to disengage, but the people want you back. They're like, fuck it, I'm better at this than him. And then you do this and they're like, what is this? And then they're already in. Because everybody just thinks I'm gonna attack this leg, but I'm going for this one. And this one is also in danger. You can do kind of a heel hook here. But we're not gonna focus on this now. This was just a little extra. Maybe I'm gonna do a whole class on this at some point. Probably my friend's gonna be pissed at me because it was his trademark thing. Yeah. The next thing we're gonna do is escape and counter for the back triangle. Like probably even worse position than this one. So take me in the back triangle. Now I will see, like if you for example saw Metamoris, Lister versus Keenan, he just kept early here, Lister. Keenan got him and he was like, he didn't even try to defend because man, it's really horrible here. But there are chances, similar to with the other one, you need to heal. And first off, of course, you need to keep this arm safe, it's gonna get this locked, armbar, whatever. With the gi is, as always, easier. No gi, you have to use some strength. You have to connect your arms, it's very important. And like sometimes he has it really behind your back. That's pretty much the worst. You maybe have like 10 or 15 seconds before you get choked out. So walk away and turn to, keep it tight, it's okay. Just walk away so you expose his foot a little. You know, that's already enough if you can pull it out a little here. That's already all what you need. And now, the flexible guys are very lucky here. They can basically just do this. The not so flexible guys have to really push here and turn into him. And at some point, like if you pull down hard, it's not so easy to just move. I really need to push myself away and then slowly let it slide over and just kick. And now, of course, this arm, he's gonna eventually go for armbar. That you need to be aware of that. So once you open it, and close it again. Once you get out here, push this a little bit down. You can kind of like you use it kind of like a rail to slide over your arm with your leg. Once you're here, and right when you kick, put your elbow in right away to be safe. And now it depends on you. If you want to get up, I would recommend controlling both legs with gi, much easier. No gi, I would recommend just taking one, either one, doesn't matter which, because you're going to lose it if you're going to slide off. But if you have one that usually works, and then you just get up. The basic thing, you have his legs, you can't get up, you get up. But if you're a guard player like me and generally don't give much fuck off about getting on top, you just keep the legs and go for stuff like this. You know, you're not always gonna easily succeed, but as long once you're here, you can really annoy him. Just, you know, kind of slide up, and so I kind of like the crab ride, or how they call it. Yeah. So one more time, just to, like, forget this at the end is more like for the more experienced guys. The beginners, if you just manage, keep yourself safe, go a little bit away and help yourself. Look, I'm also using the floor. I'm not just pushing his foot, I'm kind of grabbing it and moving away. This helps me a lot to just move it a little. And then I just kind of slide it over my arm and just kick. You know, that's all. Once you're here, it's pretty much, you shouldn't even worry much about winning now. You just got out of total bullshit for you. Just get away. Start again, basically, to engage. No? Everybody understood? Okay, now let's try. So I'm gonna show a little bonus. Took me in the close guard first. First as a triangle counter, also as a close guard counter. Just by the way, the only way to open a close guard, if somebody's stronger than you and he doesn't want to attack, he just wants to keep it, there's only one way, and many people don't know it, but it's so simple. It's just like the guard beats his guard. Just do it in a way you have to sit back, so he's gonna maybe sweep you. That means you need to push him down and keep your weight in a way that you don't get swept when he mounts you. And use your frames, you know. You can't get up now because I have my own leg. Yeah, probably some people know this. And then some people are so strong you're actually gonna need like a minute or something, but my structure is much better. So at some point he's gonna open up if I do this. No matter how strong he is, it's just gonna take a while. And from here, you can do a lot of things. You can pass. Also looks, the whole shit maybe looks a little bit funny, but I did this as purple belt against one of the best brown belts in Germany in competition. It worked. I got up, and then just, you pull him up a little. You can, the great thing here is if you're tired, you can be like, and relax, and he will not get out, he will not, you just can chill till you're ready, and then pull him up a little, and the moment you let go, just transition here. The other thing you can do from here, and while you're still here, of course leg locks are there, but they're not so simple, but they can work. There's one certain one that I like a lot. If you slide very low, which is going to happen anyway, because he wants out, he's going to slowly try to push you down and slide out. And now be really tight here. If you remember yesterday, the Z-lock, I call this the mermaid Z-lock because it's similar to the mermaid guard from Wim the Putter. Just create your frame here and just push sideways. That's it, lock. And the whole thing also works as a triangle counter. Pretty much the same. Same problem, don't sit back and get mounted. Be careful. Be careful of your arm, the armbar might come. Use the frames of your legs and your arms. No, same situation. If you still can't break it, use all you got. Same thing. You can try to pass. It's actually tricky for MMA. You can just punch and relax and punch. Funny. Probably not so funny for him, but yeah. You can go up and pass. Yeah? Or do that mermaid. It's pretty simple actually. It just looks confusing. You have to separate. If you don't manage to separate his legs, you can try to do that very mean lateral knee bar, but be really careful with this. It's one of the worst things. It's like there's no zero. Even I'm super flexible. There's nothing. 1 centimeter in this direction and can go to the hospital. So just be very careful with the lateral knee bar. With your friends, try to never use it. Just keep it in mind. It's a thing for competition. we compete very seriously, maybe not as white belts, it's still me to break white belts in competition, but if you are, I don't know, some limitation about money or something, then that's the time where you can do these things, because those people should know about that and be careful themselves. You know? If you can separate them, that's perfect. Try to not use your bicep strength, keep yourself out of the way, create your frame, and then just push the leg and squeeze really hard here, because if you lose this leg is going to kind of rotate with the other one and he's going to defend. But if you keep it, this alone is already almost a submission. It's very painful for his legs. Just, huh? That's awesome.